Hi guys, so if you're watching this is Illustrator and welcome back to my channel. I promised that I was going to do a video that has to do with the root chakra, which if you haven't watched anything about chakras and you have no idea what chakras are, then you must watch this video right here, and it's going to tell you what chakras are, which one is which, what colors are which, and all that stuff. So in this particular video, this is like under the updates of the COVID-19 situation and why I was away and all of the things that I learned. Side note, someone asked me why I don't look at the camera when I'm recording. My response is, it's not that I'm not looking at the camera, it's that I forget where I'm supposed to look at, which is right here. So I need to remember to look right there and not at myself, which is what I usually do. But anyway, real quick into the video. So the chakra that I'm going to be talking about today, with special connection to this particular video, if you've come from here, is because the root chakra, it was the one which was out of balance for me. And this is the one that helped me to realize the potential that is out there in the universe, and all the abundance that is literally available for everyone to tap into. But because sometimes we don't know how to do it, we don't tap into it. And the reason why this is so important is because, of course, the COVID-19 situation with Corona and everything has been bad for everybody. But there's a way around it. And this isn't about a cure per se, because I'm not sure about that one. But this video is about how I made it through dealing with my chakras and a real life example of how it works. So in my instance, I know that I talk about these things a lot, but sometimes I may not have explored all of these practices as strongly as they do like later on, which is now. This is the only time that I've properly gotten into what the root chakra is about and how you can help to balance it if it is out of balance, which mine was throughout most of this whole hiatus that I was at. So throughout this whole situation, I found myself to be utterly depressed. I was having panic attacks. I had a lot of anxiety because, everything, I wasn't sure about anything, and I just quit my job. And of course, the video that has to do with quitting my job is right here. I'm going to link right there. That's where I'm going to talk about it. That's also the ancestor video. But anyway, so because I was going through all of this very intense emotions and everything just felt so bizarre, man. But what happened now was I had people that were looking out for me. Like, I have a whole community of people that helps me to stay spiritually intact, and we learn from each other, and we just vibe. We just vibe so well. But these are the people that are my backbone. One of them is a guy called Mick Porter, and another one is my boyfriend. Of course, I'm super lucky to have a guy that is into the same things as I am. But anyway, so Mick Porter and my boyfriend, and of course the internet's resources, abundance, are some of the things that helped me to realize why I was going through the things that I was going through and how I could overcome them. So the thing is, when people go through stress, we're not all dealing with the same problems, and so the key is to find out put a finger on what your problem is exactly, what it is connected to. See, all that shadow work is so important. If you haven't watched the shadow video, link right there. But all of this stuff is so connected, all of the things that I teach, and I'm learning more as I go along as well. But anyway, the key is to put a finger on the thing that is bothering you, connect it to the chakra that deals with that thing. Look at how you can balance it all back. And honestly, it doesn't just work for your mind, it works for the environment around you because of those vibrations and the frequencies that you will be emitting as you are working on those particular chakras, which is Such a mouthful. Hang on. So for me, I put my finger on it and I noticed that the chakra that was out of balance for me was the root chakra. This is the one that deals with balance. It is the one that deals with being grounded. It's the one that has to do with money and all of that. And that makes sense because I'm such a Virgo, and I care very much about being prepared. Like I love being over prepared, and I'm a super overthinker. Like I just like to be prepared, so I'm the type that prefers to pay my bills before the time. And I prefer to have like groceries bought in bulk, and like I just prefer to be ready and to feel safe and to feel secure and all of those things. But because of everything that was just going on, I didn't feel secure. And considering I just left my job and now I was dealing with it alone, I was going through a lot. So the thing that I read was, like, I went through everything that the root chakra stands for, and then I tried to connect it with my own existence. So this is the practice that I would do. I would wake up every morning, and before I got out of bed, I had an affirmation that I would do, which I'm going to share with you right now. So the moment that I woke up, I would still keep my eyes closed, and then I would envision the color red, because this is the color that corresponds to the root chakra. And with this color, like red is actually the color of abundance. I know some of you are going to think, oh, but there's green. But when it comes to financial situations, like financial issues, red is actually more the color. Yeah, money is green, blah, blah, blah. No, red. For now, think red. Yeah, so I would calm myself down, and then I would do breathing exercises, close my eyes, still think of the color red. And I just remembered something, but I'm going to continue. Anyway, yeah, so then I would close my eyes, vision the color red, and I would say the words, I am abundance. Slowly, I am abundant. I am open and receptive to the good and abundance in the universe. Sometimes if it wouldn't feel real enough, I would spread my hands apart like this, sort of like I'm just showing that it's so much here, so much abundance. And then I would say, I am open and receptive to the good and abundance in the universe. And then I'll say it a couple of times until it felt real, until it felt like it was a part of me. And then with my eyes still closed, I would get into the second affirmation, which is, I am an unlimited being in an unlimited universe with unlimited resources. And then I would say this over and over and over until I felt calm, until I felt like I believed it. I'll do my breathe in, breathe out, I'll do all my breathing exercises, and then I would wake up and start the day, and then I would do it again at the end of the day. I had to do mine sometimes even during the day because my anxiety had gotten really bad and I was getting sick, so I needed more of it. But the moment that things actually started to change, even in the physical realm for me, like when I would start getting the phone calls and I would start getting the jobs and money would started to come in, that's when I felt better. And then that's when I was starting to do it 2 days, like 2 times a day. So obviously in the morning when I wake up, and then also when I'm going to bed, when I'm falling asleep, because of the brain pattern. Mick Potter has a video on that. I'll see if I can put the link there. If I don't, I will figure out a way, or I can do a video just like that. But Mick Potter has a video on that. Oh, it's probably right there right now. Then, then I'll start my day. But on the times when I felt like it wasn't enough, of course, I would do it. When I did it in the middle of the day, I would do it on my altar. If not that, I would do it as I was walking, as I was cooking, whatever. I would just try to put my mind in that space. And then another interesting thing that happened for me was before I realized that it was the root chakra that was out of balance, my body had been giving me mad signals and I just was not paying attention. The first thing that happened was I was on Pinterest, and then if any of you know me personally, you know that my favorite color is purple. My favorite color is purple. But during this time when I was anxious as hell and all of these things, I felt so drawn to the color red, and I had no idea what this was. I just felt so attracted to it. And I ended up putting on my phone my screensaver, and my home page on everything, on all my devices, was just red. I just felt so drawn to all my clothing that was red. I had red nail polish. I just felt drawn to it, and I couldn't understand why. And then that's like when my porter talked to me, like I had a call with my porter, and then I was explaining everything that was going on with me. That's when he said, hey, maybe check your root chakra, maybe that's out of balance. Like, try that, see if nothing will change. And then that's when I was doing my research on the root chakra. That's when I was like, oh my God, the color for the root chakra is red. And I hadn't thought about this at all, but my brain, my body, my whole everything was just giving me signals like, hey, this is it, you need to fix this. But that also gave me so much encouragement that there is definitely something that the stuff is real. Like, it felt real enough for me because of all those experiences. And now I'm way better off. I am fine. I'm doing great. So that shows that, yeah, it's great. Like, now I have more work than I can handle, which is sort of overwhelming, but more work means more money. And I'm absolutely grateful. Like, the country is still in lockdown. And normally I would have been sobbing my butt off because I don't know what's going on and what I'm going to do. But now I have more work than I can actually handle. And now I'm working with my boyfriend because, like, we both left our jobs so that we could focus on building a business, which is a great thing because none of us thought we'd be able to do this at this particular time. And for it to actually be working out is a biggie. It's like a real biggie. Considering we left our jobs during the lockdown, it's a big deal. So I am extremely grateful, and I know that if I didn't know what I know now, I probably wouldn't have made it through any of those, or I would have found a very unhealthy means of dealing with it. But I'm glad that there's this way, and it helps me to also do some form of shadow work as I am dealing with my root chakra and all of that. So this is also one thing that I want to share with you. I hope that those affirmations will make sense to you. I hope you will use them and they'll be helpful for you, and they'll bring you in more money, which is what is important. So I'm glad I shared this with you. I'm out of breath because I've been excited about sharing this, but I've been also kind of uncomfortable for some weird reasons. Like, I just felt like some of this stuff sounds insane, but because it's working, I'm just going to share, and whoever decides to take in the information, great. And I hope that it works for you in the same way that it did for me. We all have different paths, and sometimes it doesn't, like, what works for you might not work for me, and vice versa. But if it does, I'm glad I helped you to figure that out. And see you in the next video. See you guys. Bye.